Good morning and welcome to Mayor's Weekly. We're pleased to have you with us, and hope you're enjoying these pretty spring mornings. I know I am, and looks like we've got pretty weather in store for next several days, and that's been in kind of short supply for a while. Joining me today is Carmen Harris. Carmen is our newly appointed manager of the city's landfill, and that's what we want to devote this morning's segment to, is talking about the landfill. What does it cost to operate our landfill? Why do we have a landfill? Some of the rules, and and I say that Carmen has worked in several capacities for the city. Most recently, running the senior center. Is
Yes,
that right,
sir.
Carmen? And when the position came open at the landfill, as we have to do when we employ people, promote people, they have to stand for a test, and Carmen did extremely well on her test for that position, and hiring and firing in the city rests with the mayor. Everybody, with maybe two exceptions, work for the mayor. The mayor is the only one who has the authority to hire, and I'll tell you that sometimes we don't get it right, but when we hired Carmen to run the landfill, we got it right. So we're pleased to have you with us, Carmen.
Thank you, Mayor.
Carmen, let's talk a little bit about this landfill operation. It's located on the west side of town, and I'd like people to hear how their money is spent. We talk about the budget at the police department, fire department, public works, that sort of thing. Takes about $2 million a year to run that landfill. And we've got payroll, and we've got fuel, we got vehicle maintenance, facility maintenance. Then there has to be a managed maintenance of the landfill, and so we don't get in trouble with the Alabama Department of Environmental Management. And then on top of that $2 million, we have a significant investment in equipment, and I believe you and I have talked. We deploy 6 trucks every day across this city. Is that right, Carmen?
6 trucks every day, and then an occasional 7th truck for our handicap route.
And we're talking about pieces of equipment that cost $300,000. So I know we just bought a truck. Have you taken delivery on that yet?
We have. It will not be delivered till December of this year.
Okay. And that truck was $340,000.
Huh?
$340,000, and those things wear out relatively short period of time. What, like 3 or 4 years, probably?
3 or 4 years is about the maintenance of a truck before we start putting more money into the truck. So rotating those out would be beneficial, or is beneficial for the city, because we put a lot of miles on a truck daily with many stops, many uses of the equipment of the truck.
Yeah. Now, Carmen, we have 2 kinds of trucks, I guess. We have those with the forks out front that pick up the dumpsters,
Yes.
and those mostly operate at nighttime, don't they?
We operate those at night just in case, to block cars blocking dumpsters, and then just the normal making sure the safety of pedestrians and everyone, that they're not blocking the dumpsters or anything like that. So we run those strictly at night. Occasionally you'll see them in the day, but very rarely.
And then we have the trucks that handle residential, pick up the cans that have an arm that reaches out from the side, flips it over, puts it back down, and but both designs are $300,000+ pieces of equipment.
Correct.
Now, take some people to make all this happen. How many employees do you have, Carmen?
We have, let me make sure I have this correct. We have 10 total employees out there daily at the landfill.
That's a pretty significant payroll. And those folks work every day, don't they, Carmen?
They do.
Now, let's talk about why we have a landfill, and I know you can probably expand on this, but number one, we have to have a place to dispose of our underscored non-household refuse, and what we see coming to the landfill when we talk about non-household refuse, we refer to them as brush trucks, but those trucks operate out of Public Works, not under your budget, but they pick up, we have some limbs that need to be picked up, other things. Talk about what we can put in that landfill.
Anything that's not liquid household garbage, we can't accept paint. We do accept a lot of house demolition. However, if there is asbestos in the house, we cannot accept that in our landfill. We can't accept paint products. And then your just daily household garbage is not accepted into our landfill. Mostly your limbs, your brush leaves, and then also cardboard boxes, wood material. That's the material we accept into the landfill.
Carmen, a question that might pop into people's minds is this: well, what? And it's not under your scope of authority. What happens to our household garbage, Carmen? How does that disposed of, and what happens there?
Our trucks daily run to Pineview landfill, and that is a lined solid waste landfill. So we dispose. The city disposes in that landfill. All of your household.
Your trucks will drive to Pineview and unload. So, but there's not something in between. We don't do anything with the county. Your trucks will drive to landfill.
It's very convenient for us that we're very lucky that we do not have to have a transfer station because of the convenience of Pineview. We're able to deliver straight there.
Can your truck stay on the job all day and then go to landfill to Pineview, or do they have to make multiple trips in the course of the day?
How the routes are currently, we just one trip a day. Unless holidays, Christmas, occasionally we'll have to make 2 trips, but that's very rare.
Okay. Now, we've had some discussions about this, that we bring in the refuse that you're talking about that can go into our landfill, and every landfill, not Jasper, is always under scrutiny by the Alabama Department of Environmental Management, and you have to do certain things every day or every week, don't you, to meet their compliance requirements, right?
Yes, we do. It has to be spread and covered to a certain percentage daily, and then a certain percentage on weekly to make sure that we are controlling the litter of the landfill and compacting correctly.
Carmen, as best you know it, what's the remaining life of our landfill? Do you know?
We have 5 years on this permit, but we can exceed that permit. There's still plenty of space and airspace.
So we still have room. So we're good 5 years.
Absolutely.
As we're currently permitted, we can operate for 5 years. Of course, we'd want to be proactive and have a plan before we don't run up to the edge and fall over, do we?
Correct.
That's right. Now, let's talk about who can use the landfill, and some people can access it free, others have to pay. Talk a little bit about that, Carmen.
We allow residents of the city to dispose of their brush and limbs for free, besides, or cardboard boxes, anything, again, that's not household. You can bring it to our landfill as long as it is not household garbage. That is a free service the city does provide. Anyone with a business license within the city can dispose of theirs as well. As long as they have a permit, we will take it. There is a cost depending on.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Now, ABC company, we'll just make a hypothetical company. They have a business license in Jasper. They can come to the landfill. Do they have to pay or not pay?
They have to pay.
They have to pay. And I know I've been to the landfill, whatever, and I see a fee schedule there. Talk a little bit about that.
Just to be very broad, if it is, we kind of measure by cubic yards because it is bigger trucks that come in, $3 per cubic yard. If it's just a construction company with leftover lumber from a job, it's $10 a truckload.
Okay.
That's kind of very broad. There is other things, but that's the most every day we see.
Okay. And we're open Monday through Friday?
Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 2:45.
2:45. I know somewhere back down the way, somebody was complaining that we were closed, and we weren't. And your operating hours are prominently displayed there, along with the fee schedule.
Yes,
Is that right?
correct.
Now, I drive in with a pickup load of things I've cleaned out of my basement or whatever. You don't know me. I don't know you. How do you determine that I'm a resident of the city?
We either ask for your license to see your address, or we just your bill, your revenue bill. We look at it as well.
Yeah. Carmen, we've talked about this too. We, I guess the nicest way I say it, we encounter on a regular basis people trying to drive around the rules. And we're working now toward a system that will may not eliminate it, but it'll get close. Talk about what we're looking at to stop people from driving around the road, and that is ABC Company comes out there and really their load of refuse is from their business, but they say it's from their house, and they access the landfill free. How are we going to maybe tighten that up a little bit?
We try to, whoever's in our scale house at the time, we do kind of get out and look at the debris that's coming in to make sure, and that's one for the safety of it, to make sure we're not accepting anything we're not supposed to accept. We don't want to get in trouble for accepting something we shouldn't accept. But also on that, we're able to kind of qualify, would this come from a household or would this come from a business?
Yeah.
And pay attention to that. And if it's a truck with a business name on it, of course, we're looking, that's a business, not a household.
Yeah. And you as a manager of that landfill have the authority to say, Mr. Smith, Mr. Jones, whoever, we're not going to accept this.
We do.
And then you have the full support of our police department if you need assistance if somebody chooses not to comply.
Yes, we do.
That's right, that's right. Well, Carmen, I thank you for joining us this morning and sharing with the residents of this city information about the landfill, and I'm pleased we have it. I do have concerns that down the road, about 5 years down the road now, that the Pineview landfill may close. If that happens, then certainly we have to find another place for our household garbage, and if we have to drive a greater distance or go through a transfer station, then the cost goes up, and of course it doesn't take a genius to figure out what that means. The fees for garbage service has to go up, and but maybe that can be resolved in a way that landfill can stay open. But Carmen, thank you, and if you have questions about our landfill, please send them my way, and then I'll likelihood I can't answer them, but Carmen's always on standby to help me, and we'll answer your questions promptly. So hope the rest of your day is good, and we'll look forward to being with you next week.